thinking about the significance of the resurrection. We've seen that Jesus bodily rose from the dead. The evidence is irrefutable. But what does it mean? Well, it means masses of things. I mean, first of all, it means that there is life after death. Jesus died under professional executioners, but rose again. And he tells us very clearly in many ways that there is life after death. It tells us that Jesus is unique. I mean, there's no one else like him. I mean, everybody else in history has died. Think of all of the great, supposedly great prophets of religions, you know, Muhammad and Buddha and Confucius. They're all dead, but Jesus isn't. He died and rose again. He's unique. No one else is like him. He's the one worth listening to out of all the others. Thirdly, Jesus gives us life. Jesus is able to take us through death to life after death. When Jesus was on the cross, he was dying next to a thief who turned to him and asked to be saved. And Jesus said, "I tell you the truth, today you will be with me in paradise." Now that's an outrageous claim, but is there any truth to it? Can Jesus deliver the truth of taking people to paradise, to life after death? Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life," on another occasion. Now, what he meant by that was that if we believe in him, if we trust in what he has done for us, that because he rose from the dead, we can rise from the dead as well. He talks about himself being the head of a body. The body is actually the church, people that believe in Jesus. It's a bit like a cat. So in my garden, a cat comes through the bottom of my garden in a very tiny gap between two fences. And the reason it knows it can come through is that it can get its head through. Its head is the biggest part of the body. It has whiskers on its head. And if it can get its head through the gap, the rest of the body can come through too. Jesus is saying, "I am the resurrection and the life." If you're connected to me, if you trust in what I've done on the cross for you, then I've died for your wrongdoing and I've risen again. And because I'm the head of a new body, if you're connected to me, if the head has come through, the body comes through. The fourth thing that the resurrection shows us is that Jesus can bring forgiveness. The resurrection assures us that the great news in the Christian faith, in the Christian message, is right. Jesus died on the cross so that our sins would be forgiven. Now, how do I know whether God has forgiven those sins or not? By the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. The penalty for sin is paid for. I know it's paid for because he's risen again. Death has been paid, and therefore he no longer needs to stay dead. He's paid the debt, he's risen again. Therefore I can know that I can be forgiven by the cross of Jesus because of the resurrection. The fifth thing is, it proves Jesus is coming again. He is the Lord of heaven and earth. He has died on the cross. He has risen again. If I can see that these are true, I can believe him when he says he will come again as the judge of the whole world. The sixth thing the resurrection shows us is that Jesus is the King. As I say, there's no other person like him. He is God's King. He is ruling in God's universe. He will come again to judge the world. The resurrection is absolutely significant for knowing all of these things.